Ladies and gentle gamers, welcome back to Be Determined. Today's video is kind of a repost from last year. I showed all the items and how to get them for the Taishui Alchemist last year, and nothing's changed yet, so I figured I'd just go ahead and repost it. But at the end of the video, I'll also talk about how to actually make money from it. So if you guys enjoy, make sure to drop a like, smash the sub button if you haven't already, and let's jump into it. So we're just going to go over these in order. First off, there's the frozen spider. For this one, you'll need an ice rod, which are a little pricey right now on the auction house, so I would recommend waiting until there is a Jerry Island open. These drop from frozen steed pretty commonly, so you just need one of these and a little bit of spooky bait, which to make, all you need are some raw fish and some pumpkin. Craft these together and you can get some spooky baits right here. Then you go over to the spider's den, and if you have it already, I recommend using your hunter armor so that you don't catch any sea creatures. Cast your rod to reel it in. Pretty good chance that you'll get the frozen spider. Now if you're on an Iron Man profile, you don't need an ice rod. You can use any fishing rod, but if you're on a regular profile, it has to be an ice rod. Once you have 10 of those, you can go back to the hub and get the Great Spook staff. Next, you'll need a wet pumpkin. For this, you just go over to the builder. In the variety section, you can buy a appalled pumpkin, throw that on your head right here, and then you can come over to this area, get underneath the water, and your appalled pumpkin will transform into a wet pumpkin. That gets you the helmet. To get the chest plate, you need 5 Decayed Bat. So for this one, you will have to buy a wither bow from the weaponsmith here. It's not too expensive, but you'll also need to get icy arrows from Jack, which requires some packed ice. Once you have that, you can go back to your private island, and you have to get your hands on a roofed forest island, which is unlocked at 5k dark oak collection. It's not too expensive. You just need 15 dark oak wood and 30 dirt, and it will create this island right here just like this. You just click off the edge and it will create it in front of you, and it will make this crystal right here, which spawns in bats. Now I do recommend boxing it up like this, and then you'll just shoot the bats with your wither bow and icy arrows, and they will drop the Decayed Bat. After you have 5 of those, you can buy the chest plate, but then you'll need 5 poisoned candies. For these, you're going to have to go back to the back of the island close to where the dark auction is. This is right behind the fairy pond here, and just talk to the bartender. Grab 4 Tutti Frutti flavored poison. You'll need 9 stacks of carrots so that you can make 1 simple carrot candy. And then off of the bazaar, you can buy 4 of these enchanted poisonous potatoes. Now that only makes 1 of the poison candies. Place it like this and get the poisoned candy there. So in total, you'll need 20 Tutti Fruttis, 5 simple carrot candies, and 20 enchanted poisonous potatoes to be able to get the leggings. Next one's pretty easy. If you haven't already, make sure to get a sweet axe from the lumber merchant. You can then use this axe over on the zombies here in the graveyard, and they will drop sweet flesh just like this. After you have 12 of those, you can get the boot. Next up, you need 2 rogue flesh for the Great Spook belt. For this, you'll need to talk to Maddock and start a Revenant Horror tier 1. After you've spawned in the boss, you just need to stand here and wait until that timer above its head hits 1 second, and then kill it. After you've killed 2 of these and gotten your flesh and get the belt, then you'll need 1 precious. For this, you'll have to go into Jacob's house here. You'll need 1 Jacob's ticket to be able to buy an Infinidurt wand. Then warp over to the Dwarven Mines, and you'll have to follow this route that I'm taking here. There is a secret room all the way down in the Goblins' Burrows area that has a special NPC that we'll have to talk to. So you need to go through this railway area and just be looking out for him. He'll be here on the right side. His name is Dirt Guy. So you can see him right here, one of the dirt NPCs. You walk through here. Back is Dirt Guy. So you hand him an Infinidurt wand and he'll give you 1 precious. Now that you've got the cloak, we need to get the necklace, which you need an obscure ending for. For this one, you are going to have to get 1 or more potions of blindness, depending on how many attempts this takes you. So water bottles, plus 1 nether wart, plus 1 ink sac, plus 1 enchanted redstone. After you brew the potion in this order, so nether wart, ink sac, enchanted redstone, you end up with a blindness potion that lasts a minute and 30 seconds. Now if you really want to, you're struggling with this, you can get a enchanted redstone block to make it last 3 minutes, but hopefully this will be enough for us. You'll have to warp over to the end aisle, and I recommend if you have a waypoint mod, before you start the race, put a waypoint here at the end race start, and then all the way back on the other end of the island, you can put a waypoint here at the end race end. So for this one, you'll have to drink your blindness potion before you start the race, then stand on the pressure plate to begin the race, and then start hightailing it over to the other section back here, and there we are at the end race end, and then we have to get all the way back to the front again. Now if you don't have any mods, just make sure to take note of the coordinates. So the end race start is at -502, 121, -239, and the end is at -772, 101, -300. Once you have your obscure ending, you can come back to the alchemist, get your necklace, and next we need a head of betrayal. This is one of the harder ones. So first you're gonna need some beef so that you can craft a cow head just like this. You'll put the cow head on, and then you're also gonna need a lead, at least one. I recommend getting more just because you're probably gonna go through them. Next you'll need a pair of tarantula boots or spider's boots, and you want to put those on. Make sure you've got a good amount of mana, so probably want to put on the sided reforge. Then head over to the barn, and if you don't have one, I recommend again getting another item, Totem of Corruption. You're going to want to apply the Totem of Corruption to one of these cows, grab it with a lead, and pull it up towards the edge of the island. Now there is a way to pull this off speedily. It takes some learning, but can be done. Basically, we're going to pull our cow up here towards the top. We want to avoid him taking fall damage as much as we can. We are going to take him all the way over to Jake's house on this other island. So basically, we're going to jump, and we have to look where we want to go whenever we shift. Otherwise, the tarantula boots are going to take us in the wrong direction. So we look this way, and you want to kind of bounce it a little bit. You don't want the cow going too high or he'll fall, just like that. And then you're going to have to start over. But I have been able to do it a few times without even pulling it to the edge of the island. Just need a good rhythmic jump just like this, and you don't want to get your cow bouncing too much, because otherwise he will go super high then fall super far. But we don't want to go above Jake's house either. We want to get right on level with it if possible, and our cow is definitely going to take some fall damage here, but hopefully it won't be too much. And it was too much. I don't think that one had the Totem of Corruption on it, but it's basically going to be quite a bit of trial and error on this one. But it's a lot easier to just mess it up a few times than try and do it the long way. So I recommend doing it the short and difficult way rather than trying to go walk it up across all these wooden bridges that you see here. Get it all the way up, let it fall, and it only took 53 fall damage that time. Then we bring it into Jake's house and we talk to him, and our cow head will turn into a head of betrayal, which you can then give to the alchemist for Great Spook gloves. Next, we've got the Great Spook sword. For this one, you're going to want to grab some enchanted bone meal here, warp over to the desert, and then use that bone meal on a dead bush to get the dead seed, and you only need 5 to get the Great Spook sword. Next up is the Great Spook talisman. So for this, you're going to need a pair of enchanted shears, which are made the same way that regular shears are, just with enchanted iron. Then warp into any dungeon, and you just got to make it over to the fairy room as fast as you can. Practice your blood rushing skills, and once you get here, you take out the enchanted shears, you left click on the fairies, and they will drop fairy wings. So you'll need 5 of these to be able to get the first version of the talisman. Then for the second one, you'll need 2 free spiders. This one is a bit more of a pain. You'll have to go over to the dwarven mine, buy your path to get into the crystal hollow. Then we need to get our hands on a Mines of Devon, talk to one of the NPCs and get your metal detector, and then we've got a hunt. So there's the scavenged golden hammer. We're gonna need that, and if you haven't done this quest before, basically we're checking our treasure down here at the bottom. You can only see it when you're holding your metal detector, and we are just trying to get as close to it as we can. So if the number's getting bigger, then we're farther away. We just gotta find where they're at. I know where most of the spawns are, so hopefully I'll be able to find them pretty easily. But we first need to find the scavenged golden hammer, and then we're looking for the scavenged emerald hammer. Once you have that, warp over to the gold mine, and then there will be an anvil right over here next to the blacksmith. With the scavenged golden hammer in the left, scavenged emerald hammer in the right, and get the scavenged iron hammer. You then take this hammer, warp to the spider's den, and in Grandma Wolf's house, there will be a little cage here on the bottom. You just click on that and you'll get 1 free spider. Click it again and you get another. Use that to upgrade your spook talisman to the spook ring. Then we got to get the artifact. So for this one, you're gonna need 2 pieces of bread. Head over to the builder, grab 1 onion, 1 lettuce, and go over to the bazaar and the fuels. grab 1 tasty cheese. Then you're gonna need a hunter knife, which if you have lost yours, go back over to the gold mine and buy it from Rusty here for 500k. It's a little pricey, but you're gonna need it. You'll need any level of potato minion. You'll put him down and then use the hunter knife as a minion upgrade, and this will produce french fries. You'll need 1 of those. And finally, you have to cook 1 raw beef in a furnace to get 1 cooked beef. Trade all of these items plus the french fries I talked about with the alchemist in the hub. You'll get the Great Spook Artifact. These are all the items from last year. Now we talk about the ones from this year. For the Eerie Pet, you're gonna have to go to your garden and basically just accept a visitor's offer the moment that it shows up. So if you've been off your island for longer than your next visitor cooldown, for me it's 12 minutes, they will pop up the second you warp to your island. So if you sprint over here in time and accept the offer, then you can get it that way. That's the way I've done it. Or you can wait here until your next visitor appears and accept it the second it pops up. Don't wait for the dialogue to finish, just spam click it until the menu pops up and then you can accept it. But you're gonna wanna make sure that you have the items that you'll need in your sack. So you'll want a little bit of everything if you can help it. For me, I did a little bit of about half the items and just hoped that I got lucky, which actually worked out really well. But you'll have to complete 2 of these visitors within 2 seconds to get 2 of the Ephemeral Gratitude or whatever it's called. And then you can get the Eerie Pet. Next up's the Eerie Treat. For this, you're going to need to get 10 sewer fish, which you can get from fishing in floor 3 after the last section of the boss fight. So you'll have to get to the final section whenever the professor has combined into the guardian as the waters are rising up. So again, if you can wear your hunter gear, that'll be best for this. But if you're tanking the run with a bunch of other people, then probably not the best plan. And if you're solo running, then probably not the best plan as well. You may just have to fish in your dungeon gear until you can get your hands on what you need. But you only need 10 of these, and that'll be it for that. Then there's the Nightmare Nullifier, which you will have to warp over to the Crimson Isle to get some black coffee. I've also heard that decent coffee from the hub works, so you can get that above Maddock. Then warp over to the Dwarven Mine, go over to the right and talk to Bednom. You can give him the coffee if you've completed his quest. If you haven't completed his quest, then you'll have to talk to him 3 different skyblock days. So 1 skyblock day is 20 minutes. So to do this the fastest, you can talk to him once, wait 20 minutes, talk to him again, wait 20 minutes, talk to him again, and that will finish the whole quest. And then you can give him the coffee, wait until the next skyblock day, and he'll give you the Nightmare Nullifier. Then there is the soup. For this, you just got to give any type of soup to Pablo on the Crimson Isle. He is over close to the Mage Outlaw, and once you give him any kind of soup, so mushroom soup, mystical mushroom soup, magical mushroom soup, whichever kind, he will give you the soup, which is a painting, and you can trade that for the Great Spook Reforging Manual, which allows you to buy the Boo Stone to upgrade the fear on your Greater Spook armor and equipment. Then there's the Alchemist Recipe, which requires a secret potion. For this, you'll need to wear Monster Raider armor, this armor right here, and then brew a potion with Awkward Potions as the base, and then use any type of secret from dungeons, so a trap, decoy, spirit leap, inflatable Jerry. Any of those 4 will work, and that will craft the secret potion, which allows you to buy the Great Spook Potion, giving 3 fear for 24 hours. Then there's the Scary Grimoire, which the item is the name of a book. Basically, you're going to need a very specific amount of coins, 7,871,265 coins, and then go over to the Dark Auction whenever Sirius shows up at the 55th minute of the hour. Talk to him with that exact amount of coins in your bank. So if you have the Emerald Ring or the Talisman of Coins, make sure to put those somewhere else so that they don't ruin your coin amount. And then talk to him with that specific amount of coin. He will give you this book, which you can trade for the Scary Grimoire. And then you can buy the Great Spook book, which grants fear on spook armor. Alright, now that you've learned how to get all the items, let's talk about how to use them to make some coin. So the strat is basically to hold the Great Spook Staff because it gives 10 fear, whereas the sword doesn't give any. And you can use a different armor set. You still want to use the Great Spook equipment, but you can use a different armor set as long as you're using the Eerie Pet, because the Eerie gives you the fear from the Great Spook armor as long as it's in your wardrobe. But you hold the Great Spook Staff, and then you'll have a second mage weapon, usually Fire Veil or Spirit Scepter, in your second slot. And basically, I will use my Fire Veil wand and then hold my staff as I go around and kill mobs, and then a Primal Fear should be summoned every now and then, and we can kill those. Currently, I have max fear, which is 101, and this guy is vegan crawler, so we'll just do that. But I have max fear, so basically I spawn a primal fear every 57 seconds, and each one drops 2 dark candies, so I can get about 120 dark candies per hour. I don't really recommend grinding here in the graveyard. I was grinding in the spider's den earlier. That seemed to be the best area, but you can do this while doing Spider Slayer, or you can grind it in the end and get some summoning eyes while you're doing this too. So that'll help you make quite a bit of money per hour. At the moment, dark candies are selling for about 100,000, whereas about 12 hours ago, they were going for 170 to 150. So they're definitely dropping in price, but it's still good to know how to get them, especially if you're on Iron Man. But yeah, thanks to the current prices, it currently makes about 12 million coins per hour. Nothing too crazy, but that's just it by itself. Of course, if you're doing, you know, summoning eye grinding at the same time, then you're making that 12 million coins on top of the normal amount of coins. We just got the public speaking demon, which means we need to type something in the chat, and then we can kill it. Each of the different primal fears has their own quirk. The one we were doing in the hub earlier, the vegan crawler, will turn you into either a pig, chicken, or cow. So if you're a chicken, you need to go towards the seeds that'll appear on the ground. If you're a pig, you go towards the carrots, or if you're a cow, like we were, you go towards the hay bales. And if you pick the right food, then you'll one-tap him. If you pick the wrong food, then you have to hit him 5 times to kill him. There's also a few other fears. The public speaking demon, like we just had, you just have to type in the chat like I did, and then you'll be able to kill it. There's also shade, which gives you blindness and teleports around you, so you just have to find him in the darkness. There's commitment phobia, which after you hit him a few times will tell you to click something in the chat, so all you gotta do is just open your chat and click that, and then you can kill him. There's also the math teacher, which will make you do a quick math thing in the chat, so you just hit him a few times, a prompt will pop up, and you have to put the correct number in the chat. The last mob is Deadline, which you have to hit him a few times, and then he'll say to stand still. You just stand still for 5 seconds, and then you can kill him. You can also use the dark candies at Vargel's shop here at the back of the island. You can see the wizard towers up in the corner, but you can use the candies to get scare fragments to upgrade your intimidation artifact, expired pumpkins to give you pumpkin fortune, black woolen yarn to upgrade your black cat to mythic, sleepy hollow, which is a minion upgrade that drops purple candies, Great Spook Tree, which just drops free candies on your private island, or Siphon 5, which is a T7 enchant, costs 200 dark candy and 10 million coins to be able to get, but it's probably not a bad idea to get some of these now and then maybe sell them for a profit in 4 months or something. So if you're looking for a long-term investment, this probably isn't a bad idea. But that is how to get all the items from the Great Spook update as of right now. If more get added, I'll make another video on it, so keep an eye out for that. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like, smash the sub button if you haven't already. We're on our way to 17,000 subscribers, and every single subscription is absolutely free. But again, thank you so much for watching to the end. Y'all have an amazing rest of your day, and God bless.